Welcome to Lawfully Explained, the official YouTube series from the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, where we break down Jamaica's legal and constitutional matters into clear and understandable terms. My name is Nastasia McFarlane, and through this series, we want to empower you, our fellow Jamaicans, with the knowledge you need to navigate our landscape with confidence. Now, in each episode, we'll sit down with legal experts, public servants, and decision makers to unpack the legal topics that impact your life, from constitutional reform to human rights and everything in between. Whether you're a student, legal professional, public servant, or just curious about how government really works, this series is here to inform, empower, and engage. So let's get into it. In this first episode, we're joined by Mr. Wayne O. Robertson, JP, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs. Now he will walk us through what the ministry does, the services it provides, and why public legal education is more important than ever. Welcome, PS, to Lawfully Explained.
Thanks for having me.
We are grateful that you are our first guest because we know that you are the man in charge of MLCA, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. So we're going to get into a little bit of the basics. So first, to commence, we want to ask, when was the ministry established and what simply is the MLCA?
Well, the ministry was established in January of 2022 to provide dedicated attention and focus on the government's legal and constitutional reform aspirations to improve efficiency within the overall process and to achieve results. The Ministry of Justice had portfolio responsibility for legal reform.
Yes.
We reviewed a cabinet decision which informed us at the time that there were extensive delays being experienced in respect of moving matters through the legislative review process. For example, there were high levels of inefficiencies in terms of moving from the legislative policy development stage to getting cabinet to approve a matter and then moving it ultimately through Parliament for tabling.
So PS, I'm pretty sure that our viewers are very interested, right, in knowing what the role and core priorities of the ministry. What are they?
So the ministry's mandate and its role specifically, they are encompassed within the assignment of subjects document that is produced by the Office of the Cabinet, and it outlines the ministry's core functions. The first is constitutional reform, second is legal reform, third, we have legal education, fourthly, legislative drafting, and fifth and finally, the protection of human rights. As it relates to constitutional reform, the ministry has been mandated to modernize the constitution to ensure that it reflects the will of the people of Jamaica.
Yes.
Secondly, in respect of legal reform, we are mandated to modernize the laws of Jamaica to ensure that there's greater efficiency within the law reform system. Thirdly, in relation to legal education, we are required to educate all Jamaicans on matters which touch and concern the laws of Jamaica and the Constitution of Jamaica. Fourthly, with respect to legislative drafting, that is the sole responsibility of this ministry, and our department, the Office of the Parliamentary Counsel, is responsible for drafting all laws.
Yes.
And finally, and fifthly, the protection of human rights is a role that we take very seriously, and that role is carried out by our Human Rights Division. We are responsible for ensuring that all Jamaicans are educated, not just on their rights, but also their responsibilities, as enshrined in Chapter 3, Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms, that was promulgated in 2011.
Okay, sir. So you mentioned that legislative drafting is one of the core functions, right? Could you explain to us in simple language, what does legislative drafting mean? What does that process encompass?
Simply put, is really preparing a law.
Yes.
So you write the law,
Clause
1, what does that say? Clause 2, what does that say? So you will see a document.
So you put it in a framework, so to
right,
speak.
in a framework.
Understand.
Right. So the first step is really the crafting of what we call legislative policy. What is that? It is really identifying the need for this legislation. Very importantly, the ministry has been very fervent in its view that all ministries must take legislative policy development very seriously. We have taken it so seriously that we intend to introduce a course at the Management Institute for National Development, MIND. We have also to date convened a workshop in 2024 with all the ministries to expose them to what that entails. And I can tell you that we have made significant strides in terms of enhancing skills, but we want to ensure that there is continuity.
Ask a question, PS. You said that there is going to be a course at MIND. Is it that only public sector workers can take this course, or would it be that the average citizens, whether they're in private sector or they just have an interest in learning about this, could they be able to take this course?
Yes, so initially we're going to be starting with the public sector entities, the ministries, the policy officers, the legal officers in particular.
Yes.
Of course, we will review and extend it possibly to all and sundry, but in the first phase, we want to ensure that we get it right.
For our public
sector workers.
Exactly. So public sector workers, if you are listening, make sure that you put it on your to-do list, on your agenda, that this course at MIND, PS, is coming soon, right?
We're working assiduously to introduce that.
All right, so we have that to look forward to, right? So we're going to play a little bit of a game. Now the game is called Win or Bin. Now, if it is that you choose to win a scenario or a situation, that means that you are promoting it. It's something that we want and to encourage persons to do, encourage our viewers to do.
Great.
But if you say that you want to bin it, that would mean that we want to put it in the trash. That's something that we don't want to do. Right? You ready to play?
Ready.
All right.
Ready.
So the first thing is legal education. Do we want to win it or bin it?
Oh, we definitely want to win it.
Okay, tell me why you want to win it.
All right, so legal education is a very important area of the ministry.
Tell our viewers why it's important.
We take it so seriously that we have a division dedicated to legal education. And I spoke to the assignment of subjects earlier. If you look in that document published by the Cabinet Office, legal education is one of those areas contained in that document. So we have that division that has been established to educate all Jamaicans on one, the laws of Jamaica, but currently we have been focusing on the Constitution of Jamaica.
Yes.
We have been going across the nook and cranny of Jamaica to educate, to sensitize, to engage all Jamaicans irrespective of class. Because we also go into the markets, in the towns, communities, to engage. And I'll just give you some examples. Just recently we had a tone-upping exercise where the team went on the ground to speak to the man in the street about his or her views on the constitutional reform process.
It is that, I am a vendor, or if it is that I am just trying to take the bus to go to my destination, then I would have seen somebody in that specific town talking about the Constitution. Yes. And we have seen where that has been fruitful in terms of our public education.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. In fact, we pivoted because we started out with face-to-face meetings,
interactions,
town hall meetings. We have had town hall meetings in 6 parishes. We have had webinars online. We have brought into this ministry civil society groups. The teams have also gone out in the field to meet with civil society groups, public sector entities, private sector entities. We have met with all stakeholder groups to date. I'm not saying that we have
met with every
citizen.
Yes.
But we have
done a good job at reaching the different targets.
Stakeholder groups. So the tone-upping is very important because we have pivoted. And why? You may ask a question. Because we recognize that we have to get to the man in the street.
Yes.
So we're not just focusing on the intelligentsia. We have to target those who may not have social media accounts. Can we post?
Or even on YouTube, like we're on now. Yes.
And we're on now.
Yes.
We have to reach those persons, and we're going to have to find a way to reach Miss Etty up in
Sir, you know Miss Etty?
Up in Moko.
You know me, because I know Miss Etty, you know, so I want to know if my Miss Etty is your Miss Etty.
Well, it may be the same, you know, because Jamaica.
Miss Etty, if you're somewhere listening, please call the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs.
Yes.
We're coming to you.
We're coming
right?
to you,
And if you know other people, tell them to come along so we can reach them as well, right?
Yes.
Anyway, sir, as you were saying.
Yes, and we also intend to do a road show. And so we'll be driving across the island to also engage all Jamaicans. So we take the public education mandate very seriously.
Yes.
Because we have a duty to educate all Jamaicans. Not just on the Constitution, but ultimately the laws of Jamaica.
All right, sir. So we have one more chance to win or win a situation.
Yes.
Now, you spoke about human rights and the promotion and protection of human rights. Now, I'm pretty sure our viewers are interested. Do you think that protecting and advocating for human rights for all Jamaicans, you heard me right?
Yes.
All Jamaicans should be a win or a win situation?
Without a doubt, a win.
Tell them why it's a win situation, sir.
Well, viewers, again, human rights protection is something we take very seriously.
Very fundamental.
This is also contained in the assignment of subjects published by the Cabinet Office. It outlines the ministry's mandate, and that is one area that you'll see contained therein. So with the removal of civics from the curriculum years ago, we saw where there was a huge gap.
Yes.
And we, as a ministry, given our mandate, we have had to, we have attempted to fill that gap through education. And while we will not be able to touch all Jamaicans within a year or two, it is our intention to ensure that we reach as many Jamaicans as possible in the shortest possible time. So, with the promulgation of Chapter 3, Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms in 2011, we have seen now where there are several rights enshrined therein. And our legal, not just legal education, but the Legal Education Division also works closely with Human Rights Division to educate Jamaicans on their rights and responsibilities as contained in the Constitution. Now, I should inform viewers that the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms also makes reference to the rights of all Jamaicans. For example, there's a right to a healthy and natural environment.
Yes.
That is very important. That is one of the newest inclusion within the Charter. Now, very importantly, the Human Rights Division has also embarked on a public education campaign. But of course, that division works closely with the Legal Education Division and also the Corporate Communications and Public Relations Divisions of the ministry to educate Jamaicans. We have had school tours across the island, several schools. We have a human rights debating competition established in 2024 to commemorate International Human Rights Day, and that will be a permanent feature moving forward this year, next year, and beyond.
Now, PS, we know that the MLCA, we serve the different ministries within government, right? And you mentioned something earlier about legislative teams. Now, for those persons online who may not know what a legislative team is within a ministry, could you just explain to us, you know, what that team entails and how it is that the MLCA serves those different ministries and their teams?
Right. So when we were established in January of 2022, one of the first things that we did was to review the plethora of literature relating to the portfolio. And there's a cabinet decision which speaks to the challenges associated with moving legislation from one step to the next through to Parliament for promulgation ultimately. We recognize that there are challenges in respect of drafting instructions being prepared, in respect of just moving the matters
through
with speed and alacrity. We propose the establishment of a legislative team in each ministry, comprising of the legal officer, the policy officer, and a senior officer at the level of chief technical director, principal director, or senior director.
So this is 3 persons minimum per legislative team?
Minimum.
Okay.
And of course, the permanent secretary in that ministry would have general oversight.
Yes.
So we established a team in each ministry.
Yes.
So I can report to all Jamaicans that to date we have legislative teams across the public sector actively working to improve the legislative review process. We also, in that submission, proposed the projectization of the process. What does that entail? We have to ensure that everything is time bound, for example. So we say to ministries, tell us when you plan to commence your legislative policy and when you intend to bring the matter forward to legislation committee and ultimately for tabling. So, Cabinet, I can happily report, had approved that submission. So now we are in full implementation mode. So, projectized approach, establishment of legislative teams. We have had several sessions with the legislative teams, and I'll just make reference to the capacity building component. In 2024, we had a legislative policy development workshop. We also met with several ministries in respect of their legislation program to discuss, among other things, challenges associated with moving matters forward, support to be provided by our ministry, whether it is from the Legal Reform Department or from the Office of the Parliamentary Council. And we have been providing that level of support for drafting instructions by the Office of the Parliamentary Council, for example, and the Legal Reform Department, which opines on all submissions that are brought to their attention. So we have taken this area very seriously, and we are actually working assiduously to improve and to build the capacities within ministries in respect of ensuring that we achieve results.
So
and we have
sir,
seen improvements.
I was about to ask you that question. Since we have embarked on having these capacity building workshops, have we seen improvements read the legislative teams in each ministry?
Yes, there are some ministries that are stronger than others.
Okay.
I won't call any names. But we have seen improvements in terms of moving matters with greater alacrity and of course speed. Some challenges within the system, you know that it's a very robust process.
Yes.
You have to go through many layers.
And it takes time.
And it takes time.
Yes.
But we have said to the ministries, once you plan properly, organize yourselves from the initial stage, you shouldn't have a problem moving your matters forward. So with that insistence, we have seen improvements.
Before we go, is there anything, one last tidbit of information that you want to tell our viewers about the MLCA and why it is that they should be a part of our legal education process?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a call to action. We require all Jamaicans to be actively involved in the process. We are playing our part by educating you, and we intend to continue the process of engaging you within your towns, your communities, anywhere, online, face-to-face. We are going to continue those efforts. We require you all to hold us accountable. At the end of the day, I should indicate that we intend to have a referendum. So once you are informed, from now, you can make an informed decision when that time comes. And so we're looking forward to engaging with you when we come to your town or community.
Thank you so much, Pierce. We appreciate you being here on the first episode of Lawfully Explained, and we know that we're going to be hearing way better things, in the future about the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, not just only with our public legal education, but also, different awards that we've copped, because I know we've copped one and a couple since we've been in establishment. Sir,
give me an opportunity.
Sir, I just want you to tell them one. Just give them the first one that we copped.
this ministry, the newest ministry,
Yes.
established in 2022,
Yes.
copped the top award in the public sector.
Top award.
Top award.
Yes.
That means we're the best entity
Best
in
of the
government
best.
in respect of strategic and operational planning.
So what we're telling you is strategically sound. So when you see us in your town,
Yes.
make sure you engage with us.
Yes.
Well, thank you, PS. Thank you so much for being here.
My
And I'm
pleasure.
sure
My
our viewers
pleasure.
enjoyed the conversation that we had.
pleasure.
And we look forward to seeing you on another episode of Lawfully Explained.
Thank you so much, Ms.
You're
McFarlane.
most welcome. Thank you for watching the premiere episode of Lawfully Explained. We do hope today's discussion gave you a clearer picture of the MLCA's vital role in helping to strengthen Jamaica's governance. And if so, please let us know in the comments below. Now, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. And you can also follow us on social media on Instagram, X, and Facebook at MLCA_GOVJM. My name is Nastasia McFarlane, and until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, so that it can be lawfully explained.